All right. Hello, everybody. I do believe, yep, we're live. Probably. Let me just check real quick. Make sure. But, yep. Okay. So, welcome back to Crafty Elf. I'm just going to basically just be drawing today. I've got 13 or so emojis, kind of like things that I'll be making. Divided this into 16, so we'll just see my squiggles, but don't worry about it. So yeah, hope you enjoy whatever this is. I'll just be doing stuff. Draw. If you want to talk, say something in the chat. I don't mind. This will be fun, hopefully. So yeah, let's go. So the first one is happy. So let me try to keep it mostly in the box. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to do too much. Besides, this is the low opacity, like, super basic to check how it works and looks layer. So, yeah. All right. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, so zoom in a little more. Okay. Oh wait. That's maybe why the smoothing is super low. Usually have this at least 50%. Especially since what I'm trying to do is like a super cartoony look. That will work fine. So we're wanting a shape kind of like that. I do a little this thing for a chin. But then, so let's see. I think we can do chin a little lower. Kind of like that. This is this is slightly difficult. I'm not quite used. Okay, let me get my arm rested somewhere. Oops. Keep swerving weirdly. Should we start with a nose? Maybe that'll help, who knows? Just a little nose. Okay, never mind. Let's... Hopefully I can... Stop. Okay. If I go quicker... I feel like it shouldn't be as sharp of a chin. This is fine. That's a good face shape. Even though there's kind of squiggles over there, that's fine. We don't really care too much about that, especially since these are supposed to be like super basic. So let's get a mouth in there. This is the happy emotion. So we got, I mean, yeah, that does add to it. It doesn't always, but if it does, I'll keep it. Let's make it a little longer. There we go. Now it definitely looks a lot more like a grin. Eyes for the happy one will be super easy. We'll just do this. I like that one. This one needs to be a little closer, I think. Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, that works. Now for the hair, may have to move this down depending on how it looks. So we want a hair kind of like that, and yeah, it does look like we are going to need to move this down a bit. But I'm not going to draw a neck, so it's just faces. So we can. And it doesn't quite have to be. Okay, this thing bit is throwing me off a little. Yeah, that looks good. Hair can be a little lower than that. That. Think that works? Anybody? I don't know. So then, like, the rest of the hair would go like this. And we'd have the goggles. Not like that, but you get the idea. I mean, I can probably make this a little better. That is worse. Okay. This is a good start, I think. Or not. Who knows? The hair might be a bit of a tricky bit. Even though I've drawn it a lot, it is kind of hard. It's a weird shape, but I believe in us. Even though you guys are it's just me. See, I don't want it to be too slanted like this. This just looks like it's a hair going like down this way. I want it to look as if it's a perfect mirror of this line right there. So that it's hard. So it needs to go like down more like that. Kinda, you know? See, it's I think something like a slightly but then that just makes me want to do a weird dumb line like that. Okay, let's see. Let's try like that. Think. I don't know, man. So it needs to be not like that. I can tell you that much. I should have just stuck with that one from a while ago. Oh, flink narfs. See, that's way too long, but... Why can't I get this right? Hmm. It's my own hair. I've been drawing this for a while. Let's try doing it on a different layer. Sometimes I'll do this where the hair is on a separate layer, and that way I can erase from it in different ways. I think we want the top of the head to be like there. So the hair shouldn't be much higher than here. You know? Let's put that on that layer and then make this layer so it's like, what if we started from over here? Not the kind of curve I want, but I don't know. It needs to look like it can cover up to here as well. You know? So, like, that needs to be full. So, the top of it should be like around here. So, not quite what I'm... We're getting somewhere. I still feel like this head is too long. Don't want it... Something like a curve more like that, kind of, where it goes down more and then comes back up. That's good. I think I'm gonna stick with this. This is close enough to what I want. Yeah, and then we can do a thing here and a thing here. Might help if I went and did the ears. So, this is a little big. But simple ears could work. I don't need to go full size. Like just that might be enough. They're not quite as pointed, but they go out. For what this is, I think this is fine. So then thing like this, and then goes up. We got a little bit of a that there and a that there. There we go. Ooh, I drew that on the wrong layer. How fun. I'm gonna have to get rid of all that because I don't want to. Oh well, it wasn't all that much, all things considered. Okay. Yeah. Something like that. For a curve there, and then a bit there. Then we can go ahead and erase all of the stuff that I don't want from this layer, like these thingies, and then the guidelines I drew. And then we can go up to the hair layer, erase this little bit, and then everything covered by this eye that we want to stick out. There we go. That is roughly sorta kinda the shape we want. It is a little big, but we can work with that later. Like, I'm not gonna show you the whole process of making these into images. We'll just do drawing. Do the goggles. To be fairly symmetric. That's pretty good. And then this. I'm going to come back for coloring. So I'll just do all of the line art and then color it. After everything is done. So once, essentially what that means is, once I finish with this, we'll move on to the next emotion. That'll have only taken me maybe 20 minutes at most. Hopefully not all of them will take as long. So then, remove this, remove this. We can kinda add some more 3D-ish lookingness like that to these goggles. And in this like fairly simplistic line art drawing, we don't have to color that in, we can just make it black. And there we go. That, I think, is the basis of the happy. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I may polish some of these up after I finish the stream, you know, like, kind of want to see if I can't, what? Oh, I deleted it. Yay. Kind of want to see if I can't, like, make this a little smoother. Maybe thicken some of these lines. I don't know. But that looks good for now. Now we can move on to the sad one. Let me turn this one on, but first backspace it. No, that deleted it. Okay, never mind. I will just... Is there a way? Ah, well. I'm sure it's fine. We don't need to worry about that. Let's try to make this one, I don't know, maybe a little smaller? Or about the same size. That works too. So this one is going to be sad. I'll have him looking down a little bit more. This is that one. How about this? I'll lock all of the ones that I'm finished with. Oh, and I need to make a new layer. Okay. And now we'll just, do this whole thing again. Hopefully you like this. Otherwise, this might be a very boring stream. Oh well. Again, I don't want to. You can kind of. That shouldn't protrudes a bit too much. So does that one. We don't want to make like a very big chin, otherwise it'll look weird. Come on. There. That's good. Do a little nose and a sad mouth. And now we can do the eyes, which for the style I just essentially cooked up look kind of like this, sorta. Like that. If you've seen any of the new art I've made, they look kind of like that, but I need to do them correctly. So, like that. Yeah. Not too curved. Not too straight, I mean. There we go, that looks good. Now I just need to kind of thicken the ends a little. This also kind of helps hide any weirdness from them connecting, and also makes them look better, more realistic. Now for the eyes inside, I'm thinking he'll be looking kind of this way, but also down, so like that direction, if you know what I mean. I think that'll be good. That's a good one. Yeah, that looks good. We've already got him. That would continue, but then we need the area of color, which looks kind of like that. With the rest of the eye being black. Yeah, I'll just do all black. We want this bit to roughly follow the same curvature as the rest of the eye, so it doesn't look like it's that bit slanted. And it needs to roughly take up half the eye space. Yeah, that looks good. And then we would just fill it in. Color I'll add later, but that gives us outlining it first gives us an area that we can work with easier. Then we'll do the eye shine, which is just erasing essentially a parallelogram from this. There we go. Come on. That gives us this look, which I think looks really cool. It's not perfect, but I may go in and clean this up later. So like fixing these kinds of bumps from yeah, and that's close enough. It looks organic enough. And then we need to have a teardrop on here somewhere. And also the eyebrows. Eyebrows are important. Yeah. I didn't add eyebrows on that second one. On the first one, I mean. So let me just go do that. These chipper eyebrows. All right. Now that's that one. Let me actually just do the ears real quick first. And then we can do the hair. Hopefully I won't have as much trouble on this one. Okay, I'm gonna need to move that down again. But yeah, that was to be expected, all things considered. Okay. See, that kind of is roughly what I'm looking for, but not quite. Not quite as much of a curve here, and not quite as tall. More of a curve there. So we get something like that. Yeah, but okay. Oh my goodness, no. See, this is the kind of nonsense that goes behind making a drawing, especially one of mine. That Well, okay, let me turn off the back this thing. I don't know. It's not quite right. Let me I mean, it's not bad. What do you think? Should I keep this? I mean, there's nobody here right now, so sure. I think it'll be good enough. Um, let's do this one first, actually. I don't want it to be quite as tall as this, which is already, I think, a little too tall. That was what was throwing me off. Yeah, there we go. And then a bit down here for the back. Yeah, and then, oops, be able to hold the eraser down. And then I actually do think covering up this part of the eye will look good. Because that, yeah, but this part needs to be erased. Because the eye is in front of that. There, that's the sad bit. You just need the goggles, and we're set. Which goggles are just the two circles. Okay. Come on. You know you can do this. My goodness. Maybe not quite so big. Come on. There, that's perfect. I want that one. That one is not quite right. All of these have that one thing that takes way too long. For the first one, it was the hair and the chin. For this, is the goggles, I guess. Okay. Doesn't have to be a very thick backing thing to it, but it adds a little bit of realism. Not really, but makes it look better. Kind of want it to be as if you were making making the inside into a perfect circle by fixing the distortion on the outside. Which, it doesn't always work exactly like that, but it's close enough. It's not the best, but I think you just need to be able to tell that it's the same character, right? Shouldn't need to be able to swap between these and have it look like it's a series of images. Okay, there's that one done. Now we can go on to the next one, which is angry. So we'll give him like a steam cloud effect. Okay, we want it like a subtle curve. Not subtle. Want a subtle curve, and for them to be like this. We don't want one to protrude out farther than the other. So that wasn't a very good start, but see what I mean? Okay, there we go. That's pretty good, I think. Little nose. He's got that kind of mouth, I think. I like that shape. Let me just... Oh no, that looks weird. I think... Yeah, that looks like he's grinding his teeth together. Then got the eyes. I think this one might be a little too low to the ground, so... these are significantly narrowed, which is a unintended thing, but I think it adds to the effect. Like, it looks like his eyes are more narrowed and angry than like sad eyes or just normal eyes. Yeah. And then of course we've got to have the sharp eyebrows. Then he'll be looking off this way. Not quite fully off. And, well, I guess maybe for this one he'll have to be. Kind of like that. I want it to, if I want to mirror it. Yeah. These are good eyes, I think. They add to it. So then let's add, darken them and add the eye shine. Okay. Sometimes when the eyes are smaller, that's kind of what you have to do. There we go. That looks angry, which is what I wanted. So now we can do the hair. Remember, I need to more like this. I mean, yeah, this I think is a good bottom. So if I do something like that, maybe that could look good, I think. Yeah. Okay, I need to remember. Do this bit first. Then okay, I need to make it down a little bit. I can make there we go. Now make the ears. It's hitting you. Okay. And this one. Okay. So, well, we know the drill. Oops, I don't want to erase the eyebrow. Okay. There we go. Now for the goggles. I think we can. On. Come on. Just circles. Mostly. That's the hard part, is getting like the circles of the roughly the same size. Even though they don't have to be perfect, they do need to be usable. I mean, if I go in and correct, oops, if I go in and correct this a bit, I don't know. There we go. That's good. That's good. Now for, okay. Looks like there we go. And just color this in. And I can't see very well on that. So color this in. And then there we go. That reveals this bit. And then this thingy. And finally, angry. Oh, and one last touch. Let's move this down just so we can have some room to play with, cause wanna add classic vein pop. Although I may need to. There, that makes it actually visible. And some steam coming off. Do you think I should have the steam? I'm not sure. I mean, I think it looks okay without. All right. On to Shocked or Shooketh, which is the fourth one. Let's see if I make this like a little lower. Maybe 2. That's fine. So we're gonna do a slightly different eye for this one. And also, I'm thinking some lines. All this is lines, so far at least. I will add color later. It's pretty good. It's smooth. I am going to adjust this, though, because it is not quite right. No, not that far in. We just want it to go back that far out. Whoa, no. Here. Okay, let's just erase that entire thing. Like, I like that bottom bit, but a chin, maybe like that would be better. Then we just touch up that. And there we go. My first, maybe like actually good chin that I got like first try, essentially. It's pretty cool. Move that up. And then Shocked. So we've got the nose. Mouth is just going to be like a dot. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe like a line like that. Like a tiny line. Tiny line like that looks good. And then we're going to have like eyes like this, kind of. With lines like that, you know. So let's start with just the oval. Then we can thicken it. There we go. That eye has seen some stuff. We don't need quite this much thick on that area. Cut that out, and then oh no. Essentially do it again over here. If I could have them be. Think I should just copy the eye? I don't know. That's a good eye, and we can just thicken it up in the direction I want it. More over here on this curve. Get rid of that bit, and we're gonna do I'm not sure how to do these like shock lines. Would like a mouth like that work better? I don't know. We'll leave it over to the side over here. That just looks dumb. Um, that looks more shocked. This just looks stunned. And since the next one I'm gonna do is neutral, which is basically just the exact same face, but like this, I do think a mouth like that is maybe like maybe slightly more appropriate. Maybe a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. That looks shocked. Let's draw. Oops. Let's draw the hair. Not what I wanted to do for the hair. It's hard because we're on the edge now, so think we should let's draw the ears. I mean, we can make it work. Let's scoot the hair over, maybe. Yeah, that looks good, I think. Yeah, that's the hair. Okay, we did pretty good on all things on the hair, all things considered. Yeah. Now, need to do the ears, then the goggles, and lines, I think. It'd basically just be it. I'm not, like, super worried about having these go over, because I'll be exporting them all separately. Especially since I'm going to add, like, adding, like, a white border around them all. So, they'll encroach on each other anyway, no matter what. So, I just want to be able to draw them all in the one. Yeah, draw them all in one document to be able to like show it to you, and then also I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, and then we can erase what is not needed. Oh, we'll need eyebrows as well. So then there are some. Oops. Just essentially want to get rid of this bit and this bit. Wrong thing. Yep. And there we go. Eyebrows. Like that. And then yeah, those lines there look good, I think. Another line here. No, that looks good. I like it. And when I add color to that bit, it should look even better. Goggles. First try. Sweet. That's what we like to see, especially since I've been having trouble getting the goggles the past couple times. Then erase the stuff we don't need. Okay. There we go. That's shocked. I really like that one. It looks kind of cool. A little silly, but like that. Okay. Now we're done with a row. So now we can move on to the next row and start with, as I said, neutral. So that's essentially just the exact same as this surprised face with the eyes like that, except no lines, and the mouth is just a straight line. So yeah, that's a good circle. We want them looking dead on, essentially. And then here we go. Okay, so no, that's a bit too much of a square over there. Oh, that was pretty good, except not quite. Yeah, that's a bit too big. I like the chin, and I like most of it, except this. This just needs to be more like this, kind of curving outwards. So, in fact, I'm going to redo this entire half of the face. So it's something like that. Then we can fix this bottom chin area. That's a pointy chin. Huh. Don't quite want a super pointy chin. So something like that might work better. Oops. Not certain how, like, messy. Ooh, that's pretty messy looking. No, I want that. That's good. But I just Want to smooth. That's not gonna look good. Want to smooth this out a little bit, like this bit and this bit. May have to use the eraser for that. I think that's good enough on the chin. Looks good. Think a nose like that might be good for neutral. Whoops. Nah, we going funny with this one. So, yeah, it's a straight on kind of nose and a straight mouth. That mouth. Oh, maybe not that long. We don't want to go too crazy, but straight mouth. That mouth is make sure to sit 5 feet apart from his homies. Yeah. Then we want the most. Compared to yeah, that's kind of what I want. Yeah, those aren't in the right places, but thanks to this being digital, I can move them to the right places. There we go, and then it's just same process as before. We thicken these bad boys up. I'm gonna make this one look a little thinner. Sorta. This looks kind of weird. But I said I was going for funny, so that's what we'll go for. That looks a little too pointy at the end there. So we'll just do that and then do that. Now that looks extra funky, but nothing a little light fixing can't do. Okay. Okay, we may need to move them a little, at least this one, a little closer together, because I think I moved it a little too far. But can move this one down a bit, and I also think I will rotate it just a tad. Yeah. There we go. That's a neutral face. Okay, stop showing up that. I don't want that. I will just... Oh, that is fairly high, so we can move it down so we're not going against the ones on top. Oh, I need to make a new layer. Okay, let's see. Not quite that tall. That looks okay. Let me just close all, like, get rid of this one, because that usually helps. Yeah, all things considered, that looks good. Looks as good as this one will probably ever look, so. Nope, not that far. Close, I mean. Yeah. This just looks, I don't know, weirdly square. Ah, well. I'll export these like separately by playing around with it just so I can make sure that everything is good. So like you won't, when these are finalized, there shouldn't be any weirdness to worry about, like having it clipped weirdly. Like if there's white border that goes past here, there won't be in the final JPEG or whatever. I wanna, let's see, kind of want to have like that size. Yeah, like that. There we go. It's like not too big. Yeah, that looks pretty good compared with the others. And we've got the squiggly bit there. Don't want that one to be quite as long. Fine like that. Then, kind of to emphasize these. So then we can get rid of this. And this. Head onto here and clean this up. Think I'm finally getting into a groove with this. So now that I've been doing it for a little while, we can go along faster. Gotta have the most neutral of eyebrows. Oh, yeah, that really adds to it. Nice. I like it. Hopefully these won't become too obscured by the goggles. But yeah, that's a neutral face. Okay, so to help with that, the goggles will be fairly small. There's one. And the other one can be there. Even if, like, this one becomes partially obscured, it already kind of was. There we go, and then okay, and just to be extra careful not to get rid of the eyebrow. Oops, went too far. Perfect. Now for strap, and there we go. Neutral is done. Should I do a normal face? Because that was one of my next ones I had planned, but I mean, I've already got, there's one other. Saw the neutral face, it's pretty good. Yeah, I think we can skip that, so there'll only be 12. If I want to make a normal one, I can. Otherwise, I'll just use any of the other, like, you know, any of the other drawings I've made in the past. So that's the goggles. Yep. Okay. So next is confused. Yeah. So let's draw that one. Got he'll be like raising an eyebrow. So now we'll be back to normalize for this one. There we go. Oop, okay, draw. Come on. All right. You got this? Okay. Come on. Stop being weird. You're being weird. Why are you doing this? You just being slow? What? Okay, let me try something. Hopefully that'll have helped. I think it did. Okay. It didn't. What? Hmm. odd, but I think that's a good chin. Sweet. Confused. Gotta. This. Okay, I want those eyes to be just a little lower. Yeah, like that. You kind of want their tips to be roughly where the middle line is. This isn't an exact science since it's like nowhere near being actually proportionally accurate, but it's good enough for what I'm doing, which is extremely cartoony, especially these. These ones are like uber cartoony. I liked that one. Keep it. Okay. And now eyebrows are incredibly important for this one, so we've got to have like a narrowed one and a raised one. Which looks kind of like a tilde. Yeah, that's roughly what I want. And then just slightly normalish eye position. Perfect. First try. Then yep, and then fill it in. This isn't supposed to be like a super engaging stream. I was planning to draw these at some point, but then I figured, you know what? What would be cool if I streamed this and people could watch me. So it's like just a chill drawing thing. You can watch it. I'll probably release a time lapse of the entire stream because that'll be kind of fun. So yeah. Oops, that's too long. There's gotta be a slightly easier way of making these eye shines without. I could probably get like a smaller eraser and just be more precise with it, but they're okay. Oops. Yep, okay, let me turn off the bottom one because it'll be throwing me off. Okay, hair. Okay, this one is a little far to the right, so if we just move it over. That will do it. Maybe not too far over because you don't want to have the ears. So let's say, yeah, here's fine. Let's do the ears now before I forget. Stop. Come on. No. Don't want them. You know what? If I did this, especially since this head is is more tilted, I feel like that would be cool. Even though this might end up getting covered up, that's fine. Okay, now on to the hair. Not quite as tall, but we want it to be like here or something. That's where we want it to be. That's pretty good. I like that. Um, okay. There we go. Then just clear off this area, and then we can go ahead to this stuff. Sweet. Now that is a pretty good hair. I'm liking where these are all going. They look pretty good. Not 100% sure if I'll have enough time to do color. If not, then this'll just be just a line art stream, and that's fine. The color is like super basic anyway. Like, I could probably do the basic coloring, which is just paint bucket, but the shading I may need to do another day. Probably won't stream that though. It'll just be, I'll do it on my own time. Oops. Oh, I wanted that. Oh no, that's not right. I think we can. There. That's better. Will say though, I am getting a lot faster at these. The first one took me like 20 minutes. These ones are now taking me, what, like maybe 10. Have until, I think, 4. So that's another hour. I don't know how long that'll be, but I mean, I know how long it'll be. It'll be an hour. But that'll be fine. Even if I don't get to all of them, I'll at least get to most of them. There's Confused. That looks really good. I like it. Next up is Laughing. So it's essentially the XD emoticon, but with my face instead. As all emoticons should be. All emoticons should all have my face instead of whatever yellow thing they've got. Laughing. I think we're gonna switch it up. He's gonna be looking this way. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Sure. We'll have him looking this way. Why not? Or will that look weird if it's next to all of these ones who are sort of looking the other way? Yeah. Let's keep them consistent because they are supposed to be like able to be interchanged. That's good, I think. Okay. We shall. No, not quite. Close, but not quite. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So it's kind of sort of tilted back just a little. Yeah, kind of overly big smile. Teeth. Not quite that angled, but ever so slightly angled. And tongue. Fill this in. That'll look better colored in, I think, but for now, it's pretty good. And then kind of like these kind of eyes where it's inward. Nice. That looks good. Ears. And now let's move it down and to right a little. There we go. And hide this. Okay. Now for the hair. Okay. Active. What if the eyebrows? What if I hmm I think we need to make these a little thicker. Not that thick. Maybe like this. I don't know, it just needs to be more mirthful. This looks almost, what it was there almost looked mean. Okay, I think what I need to do is make these bottom ones curved. Right? Like something like that could be really good. So if I just do that, that looks good. Yeah. That'll give it more the impression that like he's actually laughing and having fun. Instead of just there we go. This look why does this look mean? I don't want it to look mean, I want it to look funny. What if I add another teardrop? Or like one up here. Teardrops to the sides. Yeah, teardrops to the sides works, I think. Let's put them on this layer. Actually, let's put them on the layer above that where the goggles will be. So, I think it might be the mouth. If I get rid of the mouth and try it with like, I don't know, a slightly different one somehow. Okay, that just looks horrifying, but if we just like you know what I'm saying? Something like more cheerful. That's a little. Yeah, I think we'll just. Okay, no, we want tongue. This is hard. So we don't want it too wide, I don't think. But nah, that looks good. We want it tall. I am running low on battery. Hopefully that won't be a problem. I've managed to work for a while on battery saver mode, I think. Should have let this charge for a little longer beforehand. But it started off at basically full, so nah. Yeah, that is a much happier mouth. He looks happy. So now I can. Looks like he's having fun instead of making fun of someone. There we go. Joy. In fact, we don't want it to cross too much of that. Of the eye. Because I can't really erase to get rid of it, but I think that looks good. So there we go, and we can keep that there. So now this goes down, and then on here we'll add the goggles. Perfect. That's like this one's like a near perfect sphere. I like it. There we go. Okay, that's not the right angle. Something more like that, where it's more out here. Perfect. Now we can just. I'm gonna have to fix that up, definitely. Don't know why it's so messy. Must be something with the brush. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So now we'll have to erase that. And there we go. Laughing. Perfect. I like it. All right. Next up is disgusted. So we've got this one and then 4 more. So it's up till this next row. Yeah, there's a fair chance that I won't be able to do coloring today. No, oh, it's hidden. Here we go. Disgusted. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me just... No. There we go. I want like a face. Let's see. We want like no, that's a little too big. Ugh. I think this might work. Yeah, that's good. And now it's the same eyes as the last one, but he's no longer happy. Okay. Gonna have to move those. Yep. Okay, let's move this entire thing down into the right, to the left, I mean. Okay. Ears, and then hair. Stop doing that. Okay. Okay. Now for the hair. Ooh. May have to move this even more to the side because I do not want to go off. Okay. Could also like see. Is this good without that? I don't know. No, wrong thing. I wanted to hide this one so I could. Something like that. So not. Will that do? Probably. So I actually need to extend this bit, which I can do. What are disgusted eyebrows like? Like, do they go down or up? Up works better, I think. Keep accidentally hitting S, which puts me in clone stamp button, which is not what I want to do. Okay. I'm running out of things to say, man. But whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I mean, it's not over yet, but will be soon, all things considered. Okay, let me just hide this while I fix the circles. Okay. There's disgusted. That looks disgusted. So we've got 8 out of what will be eventually the 12 done. So now we got annoyed, which will just be an eye roll. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and draw all the circles for these coming up. And then I won't have to bother with going back and forth to this layer really much. So we've got annoyed, crazy, the emotion that is known as otherwise known as that face, and grateful, which will just be like a aw, thanks kind of emoji. Alright, there's those. Now, this is the, yeah, so merge this down, lock it, make a new layer, and we're set to begin. Annoyed is next. Reset the view. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, that's not a nose. We could move this whole thing down like this, and then I don't think that nose is where it's at. So we'll make a new nose. So weird doing this without music. Like normally I'd have songs playing in the background that I'd be loudly singing along to. But you don't get that. Not least because that would be kind of distracting, and I don't want YouTube to copyright me. So you'll just have to imagine what happens when I normally draw. Okay. There's the eyes, and then I'm going to got this. I really like that, but I'm going to have to erase this bit. Perfect. Now, I think it's, yeah, down eyebrows. colored in. Does that look right? Think that's too tall. But not quite that short, so like this maybe. If you're like a little lighter with it when you do this, you get a little sharper edges. But you can also have stuff like that happen, so it's best to zoom in and get the best of both worlds. Accidentally caps locked. Huh. This is tough. That's good. Yeah. That's annoyed enough, I think. There we go. There'll be enough space to draw this, even though it's real small. I wish I had planned ahead better, had more room for this, or literally have done anything else, like, I don't know, open these up as their own separate PSD files, but too late now. Oh, yeah, that's good hair. It especially fits the annoyed vibe. Somehow. I don't know how, but it does. Excellent. Okay, now I can get rid of this bit. Hmm. I think in this particular instance, because of how the hair is, I'm going to erase it here as well. And all the other ones I put it behind, but because of how it is on this one, I'm going to keep it there. Okay. Perfect. Now for the goggles. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Okay, that's good. We'll need to throw this together, and then we've got that done, and we're on to the final three. Coming up. Can I do it before I either run out of time or run out of battery? No one knows. Perfect. Okay. I love it. Let's get rid of these and this. And there we go. That's annoyed. Maybe not perfect, but it looks good, and I think it's fine. Alright, on to the last one. Not the last one, the next one, which is crazy. Like I am. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Do you like that noise? Ah, the return of the asthma. Nice. That's a good chin. If I just move it down and a bit over here, that'll work. And now, so okay, this one I want it to be like this, kinda. No, actually, if we went like this, those kinds of eyes for it, I think that would be really cool. Big circular eyes. Tongue sticking out. We can just kind of get rid of this and this. And it'll be like that, kind of, you know? So, yeah. too open of a mouth, but open enough that you can see it, and then it's just filling in. Nice, nice. We're looking good. I'm going to use the fill bucket for this one and then just go around filling in like these lines with the more normal brush, and that will make it quicker. Should I add eye shine? Probably. But I don't think I'll add the colored areas, because I don't know where that would fit. Need to make some pretty big eye shine. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then let's put it like here. Yeah. Perfect. that's just amazing. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's crazy, all right. Ear, I gave up. We can have them extend over each other a little, although they will be fairly small just to match with the others. There we go. And now, whoops, now for the hair. I mean, yeah, as far as hairs go, that's pretty good. Nice, nice. Okay, we be getting this. Let's go ahead and do the erasing. Hope you all are have been enjoying this. If anybody's been watching, cause I mean I like it. This is fun. Hopefully, that's the whole thing. We're gonna well, can move it over maybe a little bit, but it'll just have to be fixed later when I'm exporting. I might even like shrink it down a little, but for now that's good. And then on to the goggles. Perfect. Got it first try essentially. That's what I like. Okay. All right. Sweet. It's well, I mean, I could try to fix this. Make them a little more symmetrical in how thick they are. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this just looks funny. But that is the point of this particular one. And all of these are supposed to be just a tad unserious. Oops. How long have we been going? It's been a while. I think I started. Yeah, it's been probably 2.5 hours. So not like super long as far as live streams are concerned, but long for me, I'd say. So yeah, I'll finish the line arts. We've got 2 more, and then I'll be done. So, okay, after crazy, we've got the emoji, which is it's the slash one. So it's first. Sweet, that's what I like. Yeah, we want a line fairly straight like that. And eyebrows like straight lines. Not that long, but okay, actually, let's start by getting the eyes. Don't want them too big, because we can, this is a good size, but we'll move them down. Okay. Yeah, we'll need to move those down. The mouth being that weird kind of makes things a little odd, but... Okay, I'm just going to finagle this bit close up. There we go. Move this whole thing down. Not quite that far down, that's good, I think. Yeah, and we're stuck with it now. So, I think, eyes like here or so, sort of towards the middle-ish will be good. Yeah. Yeah, that. That's what I'm looking for. Not that big. Yeah, and then eyebrows like that. And then we color these in. Color in these eyes. And then it's on to the hair and goggles. First we do have to do the eye shine though. I think the main fun of this video will be watching the super duper time lapse once it's all done. Because I do not talk very much in here because it's just drawing. I'm like super focused. That's a little too low. I think like up here would be better. Yeah, there we go. Looks a little funny. How does it compare to the others? They're also pretty funny. Eyes are fairly big, but that's the style. Okay, let us did notice that it is fairly high up, so we can move it down. And hair. Nope, that's not it. Let me... No, that looks good. Sure. Okay. Nice, and then this could also serve as like a tutorial, kind of, for how to draw my little guy. Certainly seen me do it enough times. Okay. There we go. Last one. Grateful. Nice, I like that. Nope. Gotta have it kind of like that, but not quite. Just like the kind of this face. I think that nose is a little too high. Let's yeah, and then the blush lines. Yeah, line, eyebrows up there. I may end up making the blush lines like actually red, but I'll do that later if I do that. It's hard to get these like all the same consistency, kind of. And in where you want them. I kind of want them to the side. Like where this thing would be. What? Oh, I think I accidentally clicked something else. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. Hmm. Want to, let's see, kind of rotate it just a tad. No, that's good. Sweet. To fix this up. Do the ears. smaller ears than that. Since yep, and can finally delete that. And the last hair. Oh, it didn't. Oh, well. Okay, I really need to move this over. In fact, I can move this over. Maybe not super far, but like there. Delete the, no. Delete layer 1. Go back to here, and then draw the ear again, but better. And with more space. There we go. Much better. Now I can hopefully have space to do the hair. We have to move this more over, like there, and then I may need to shrink like crazy and and then grow happy just a little bit, just to make sure they're all roughly the same size, because crazy's a little too big. But otherwise, they're really looking like whoops, really looking good. Come on. This is the last hair. If only. Like that's roughly what I want. But it's a little too short. Or is it? No, I think that's good. Sweet. Excellent. I'm probably going to have to hide that other layer if I want to. So yeah, let's hide this one just so I can see what I'm doing with this one better. There we go. And goggles, the last goggles. Yep, I can work with that. Okay. We will definitely fix this. Whoops, what was that? I did not mean to do that. I think that is a problem. Let me just window. Reset essentials. There we go. Okay. Whoops. Okay. There we go, and okay. Almost done. Okay. Let's just erase that. A little more over here. There we go. Perfect. And last but not least, all right. Well, with that, I believe we are done. Wait, no, not quite. I need to do this and merge the layers. Okay. All right, now we are done. That's the line art for the drawings. I'll color it later, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. This hopefully was a fun live stream for everybody. But yeah, until next time, this has been Crafty Elf.